everyone. This is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of March 23rd through March 29th. So we still have quite a bit going on in the world and in our personal lives. We've been in quite a bit of an intense pressure cooker lately, and the events that have been occurring have felt like they are moving at a very quick speed. So things kind of changing daily, things changing hourly. And with the alignments that are occurring right now, we will be in this pressure cooker for a little bit longer. So definitely until the end of the month, the energy is still kind of intensely compacting us in this way. So it's kind of like a wave that has moved in, a wave of really powerful transformation. But when you think of the quality of a wave in general in the ocean, the wave comes into the shore and it's pretty intense. It crashes on the shore and then it recedes. So know that we're in that process where the wave is coming in. It's creating all of that kicking up of everything, and it's really bringing about that transformation. But just like a wave in the ocean, it will recede. It will lighten up. And we are not too far from the energy kind of dissipating a little. We will still be in this entire process of the power of this year because 2020 holds that theme of this transformative acceleration as we move through this dismantling of an old world, of an old way, in order to create a new, in order to create new systems, new ways of being. So this is going to be a theme for this entire year, for this entire decade. So keep that always in your mind, kind of like an overarching topic for what's happening. And it will help you to see that whatever is presently occurring is kind of like a movie that you're watching. Yes, there is a lot that is very real, and these times are challenging in more ways than one. But if we can just kind of move our perspective back a little and remember that all that's playing out on a world stage is part of this dismantling, and seeing it more from an observer standpoint will help us so that we don't get so sucked in or go into a downward spiral ourselves of fear and all that may be occurring. So just keep that in mind and know that this restructuring, this dismantling is taking place for a very good reason. And as I was saying in the last update, this is truly uniting us. This is truly bringing us all together. And when we come out of this, just imagine the amount of gratitude, imagine the amount of connection, of heart expansion that will be inspired from this, allowing people to really appreciate the things in their lives that truly matter. So it's shifting so much on many, many deep levels. So just envision that we will all make it through this, and we will. We're really being guided through this. This is a nudge and also a reassurance that you will be okay. This is a time of really integrating. So don't rush the process that you're going through. Don't rush the process that we're all going through. Allow yourself time to integrate all this and to really be okay with what's occurring. Because although there is a lot of unknown, we are in this season of death and rebirth. So this is occurring on this deep level. As you look at the season of spring, which began last week on the 19th, this is also a sign of that death and rebirth process. As we leave the season of winter, and we enter the season of new beginnings, of spring, and you think about a seed bursting open and sprouting and blooming forth, the seed actually has to die or be non-existent in order for that sprout or that bloom to occur. So the seed completely combusts, it dismantles. So this death rebirth process is part of life, so that we can allow ourselves to let go of an old sheath, something that has kept us confined, something that has kept us contained from our true expression. So in order to really allow that next stage, we have to surrender to letting go of that old. We have to surrender to letting go of how we thought things should look in order to welcome in the way that it truly needs to be. So by mid-April, we will find that this wave kind of starts to let up for our lives. Yes, it will ripple out in many ways, and it will take some time for all of that to reorganize and restructure in a new pattern for all of us. But we will find that that rebirth that we are really ready for will be coming forward come mid-April. And this is all assisted and supported at this time with Aries season, which also began last week. And Aries is the sign all about that renewal. It's the sign all about that independent nature, that leadership, that pioneering spirit. And as we move through this week, we have a new moon occurring in the sign of Aries. And new moons are all about new beginnings, about empowerment, about a new path ahead. And what this new moon is really highlighting for all of us as we're taking this time to go within and to really reassess what is important for us and for our lives, this new moon is highlighting how we will move forward into our life path, into our life purpose. Because anytime we take time to really reflect and go within, this can really spark that inspiration of how we want our next phase to really look, how we want to take those next steps in a new direction, especially as many are undergoing some economic tension presently. This may inspire some creativity in that area of how you want this next chapter to really be envisioned for yourself. So allow this new moon to really give you that fire to propel you to either create or envision something new for this next rebirthing process as we move closer to the month of April. As I was mentioning in the last update, we have a pretty significant shift of a planetary alignment that I did want to mention previously, which is the planet of Saturn, the great taskmaster. He's the one that kind of puts us through all of these tests in certain areas of life to really create that friction and that structure so that we can refine a certain area so that we're ready and prepared in that area with all of the lessons that it has taught us. So Saturn has been moving through the sign of Capricorn for several years now, and this has been a very heavy alignment that has shown us this lesson through the structure changes in our life in certain areas. So as it shifts on the 21st, it will be moving into the sign of Aquarius. And I don't often talk too much about the details, the very fine details of these alignments, but this one is pretty important because this particular sign is all about humanitarianism. It's all about coming together. It's all about connecting. So we will find a little bit lightness. It will get a little bit lighter as this shift, this alignment takes place on the 21st, that many will be coming together. You will find that that becomes more of a theme of people joining in forces to connect and also to come up with new solutions, new inspirations, and new ways of doing things. That we're realizing that we can't always rely on the systems at play, and that we can come together as a people to really uplift us and help us to move through this together and come up with ways to pull us out of this as well. So that will really be sparked as we shift into that come the 21st. And you will find that these community connections are reminding us how we are all one collective. So this is a very, very important theme as we move through this year, which will come up even more as the months pan out for this year. So as we finish out this update, I want to share a reflection here of something that came up in a meditation related to the higher purpose, the higher plan for why this is all taking place, and felt that it was very important and very significant to share here so that we can remember why we are moving through this, why all of these profound changes are taking place, and also to remember truly what matters. So I will read this here. This present experience with the virus is activating the trauma from the collective, from this lifetime and past lives for all. In doing so, it is helping to clear and release very, very dense, lower vibrational energies, imprints, patterns, blockages, and limitations on a mass scale. This is happening on a subconscious and conscious level. As the dense energy arises, it creates a web-like structure of energy within the collective, allowing this virus to more easily spread along the pathways of what is being released. As all of this dense energy arises all at once for everyone, it is creating space within the collective that will eventually allow higher vibrational energy and consciousness to be more easily achieved collectively. Those who have been on the ascension path for quite some time have been experiencing this dark night of the soul in different forms for many years. Now, in this present time, the collective is catching up to this experience. This is part of the global ascension process. As all of the planet catches up to the new energy coming into the earth, the energy comes in and brings up great density. This virus is a gift in disguise to allow much density and old soul-level trauma the space and time to be released. It is no mistake that there is a grand pause taking place to allow the integration of the enormous amount of cleansing and releasing taking place on many levels in the energy bodies and physical bodies of the collective. See this time as a pivotal point in our evolutionary process so that we can all embody more light, whether we are conscious of it or not. This group integration phase is allowing us to anchor this light so that the density that has been present on our planet with old systems and an old paradigm rule of the patriarchy can dismantle, with a greater rippling supported by the light that will be now held on a deeper level by every individual on this planet through this experience. This is no mistake and is being intelligently orchestrated on many levels. See through the veil of this moment and remember the great plan at play. And in this process, a great heart expansion takes place as humanity unites in common experience. The barriers of fear from each other that have kept you divided in the game of this dense dimension are being lifted to allow a unification on a deep soul level as an entire planet. reminding yourself of the one heart, one mind, one collective, one consciousness at play. Borders become non-existence in this sense. Nationality, race, background, religion, and belief, all is dismissed under common ground. Within this, there is an awareness taking place like never before. And as we look upon your brothers and sisters within your communities, you see this reality that unites. You see them with different eyes. You see them as part of you and part of this one planet you call home. And as your light expands, so too does your heart, your compassion, your grace, and a softening taking place. Once the trauma being released has passed, if this softening is not currently present, the releasing is still underway. This experience is a catalyst for many places and pieces of this puzzle for humanity to shift and change old ways, and much will alter as a result that could only be done through the avenue of enormous collective transformation. So I hope you enjoy that message. I did receive that pretty potently through a meditation. May you take with it what you may and allow it to give you some perspective on all that is occurring now. So have a wonderful week ahead. I hope that you all are doing well. If you need additional support at this time, I am offering remote sessions specifically by phone. You can reach out and learn more about our services at entelechivisions.com. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening.